what it is, what it was, and what it will be. This your boy GJ16. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about the Razorbacks and some things SEC. Today I want to talk about what happened Saturday. The Razorbacks got the win. I want to talk about my likes and my dislikes. So let's get to it.
50 up and 50 down, I be wearing everything. 20 on it, 20 round, 24s on everything.
Oh, it's not here.
So yeah, SEC Shorts put it best describing the game Saturday. They did. They put it best that we didn't have it in gear at first, but we finally did in the second half. We put it in gear, something that we needed to do. Man, what can we say about it, man? We got the win. We got the win. We did get the win. But now I'm probably gonna be more harsh than maybe your average fan. I ain't gonna say I'm more harsh than the average fan. I'm gonna be a little critical of my team at the moment. Even though we got the win, I'm happy that we got the win. I predicted the win, and we should have won. With or without our star receiver, we should have won this game. He played anyway, but you know. I don't know. I tell you what. I think exactly. I think they were looking forward to the Texas game. I'm hoping that's why they performed the way they did in the first half. Second half was a totally different game. But in the first half, it's like they came out so flat. And I guess I have to say this, that I have to give us a little bit of slack because we're not the only team that came out this first game sloppy. Just you look at Washington lost to Montana. Oklahoma had trouble with Tulane. Mississippi State came out flat. I mean, it's so many teams that came out flat that expected to do that was better than their competition, and we was one of them. We was one of them. A little slow out the gate, picked it up second half after Sam got onto him in the locker room, but it was just way too sloppy. The penalties going on, the targeting calls, and yes, the referees was garbage again. We could have had better referees, not just some of the call against Arkansas. I think those two targeting calls were targeting calls. You can't hit anybody helmet to helmet anymore. None of that stuff is allowed. So by rule, those are targeting calls. Now, for the most part, the referees calling, I don't know. It was horrible calls here and there, and they was late. I mean, of course, you couldn't really hear. Some of them like just came out of the blue. Like 1 minute, what was that play? 1 minute we thought they was 3 yards short of a first down, and then all of a sudden the referees moving the ball up because they threw a late flag on Arkansas player. What about that flag they threw for our wide receiver when they said that he got hit off the field? It wasn't even a late hit, man. It was the dude. Oh my God! It was just a bad call. Bad ref. I'm not gonna complain too much about the refs, but I don't know if we getting the rookie refs, the ones that are just learning. But even if you're a rookie, you can say, hey, he didn't hit him out of bounds late. He barely touched Traylon Burks. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't even it was in our favor. And I was like, that's a bullcrap call. It was a couple of those going on. But mainly we shot ourselves in the foot. Oh my gosh, the penalties. If we was playing Texas, that game would have been a wrap. We would have got blown out. The whole first half, they had an average starting yard at the 50 and 45. Great yard position for them. You know, a more talented team would have took advantage of those. More of advantage than they did. We gave them 113. I can't remember what it was. Was it 113 yards in penalties? Heck, that's a running back stat. You know, we just giving up yards, bro. We can't have this. We can't have this against Texas, bro. I'm so glad we played Rice and not Texas the first game. Bro, we needed this game here to look and see, warm up, whatever it is that we need to do. I'm gonna get to my 2 likes and dislikes in a second. But I just want to put an emphasis on, man, that first half was ugly. Now coming back, the second half was good. I like that they didn't get down on themselves. They came out fired up, way more fired up than they did in the first half. In the second half, got it done. I'm talking about we was moving the ball like this. In the second half, getting down there into the red zones, getting down there touchdowns. Even though we had some penalties to bring us back, KJ did a whole lot better. That's part of my likes and dislikes. But honestly, we're just fortunate that this wasn't a more talented team. We're fortunate that this wasn't a team that had the depth that we got, because this game would probably be over. A nail biter in maybe in the second half. By the way we played, came out of the second half, but man, we can't do that, guys. We can't do that. It's okay to have a quarter here and there, but a whole second half, you didn't see it coming after KJ scored the first touchdown. It's like, okay, we finna ramp, right? We finna run. No, not. It's bad. Anyway, I'm gonna get to my likes. I'm gonna give you 2 likes, and I'm gonna give you 2 dislikes. And I'm gonna do the likes and dislike back to back. Okay, so my first like is, of course, the most important position on the field is quarterback. I'm gonna start there. I got it that, you know, KJ showed off his running ability, something that you should, coming up in this game against Texas, they should most definitely respect. If they don't, that's gonna be on them, because KJ ability to run, oh my, I didn't know he was this fast. This dude was running away from their secondary. Like the guy is faster than he looks. And his ability, and he it don't look like he backs away from contact. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing when it comes for a quarterback, but good thing we got bag up quarterbacks they can run the ball to, or can come in and spare some time. But the guy is fast. The guy is faster than he looks. Big tank running down the field. So that's my first like. The quarterback showing off his running game, letting the other teams know that they need to respect it. My first dislike, again, the quarterback position, especially in the first half and somewhat in the second half, is KJ throwing. I think this has been one of the issues that they talked about this whole offseason. Some of the critics have about KJ is his throwing ability. He sailed a couple balls that I think some guys are open. He didn't see a couple guys that got free on the backside of where he was looking. I think he stares down his defenders. I think he stares down his receivers probably a little too much. And a lot of people are saying that he should have got Treylon Burks more involved. I'm saying that I think he would look at the Treylon Burks way too much. To me, these are my eyes. what I seen on there, I was like, yo, we got other receivers. Yo, I seen that receiver over here get open. Or our tight end got open a couple of times that he could have threw in the flat. I just feel like, yes, Traylon Burks is our star receiver who's gonna get drafted this year and get drafted high. But we got other receivers out there. You need to, I don't know. I mean, I would like to see improvements in this Texas game and the throwing game. And maybe we will, based off of, especially throwing the ball down the field. Like, I was a little frustrated in this first half that we didn't throw the ball down the field. It's like, why ain't we throwing the ball down the field on these cats? What's going on? Why is he selling the ball? I'm gonna say I got a little frustrated with KJ. He did better the second half though, so he did run to establish himself through a good pass down there to Morris. But it was just better. His pass completion was better. Now, granted though, some of them passes though that he threw that was incomplete was on the receivers. Some of them was they could have been completed, but for the most part, I'm gonna say that was a quarterback fault. Majority of the time, it was KJ's fault for selling the ball, not putting the ball on point, or putting it where the receiver should have been. I mean, putting it where leading the receiver where he should go with the ball instead of throwing it behind him sometimes. But maybe it was nerves. Maybe you could chunk it up to the fact that it's his first game, third game starting. Expectations for the team going against them, not really relaxed, maybe over-nerved. I don't know. I'm not here to give too much of excuses, except the fact that I think he should do better and I think he can do better. I'm not one of those that's going to say put Malik in right away. I think Malik brings something different, and I wanted to see Malik. I did. I wanted to see them bring in and see whether Malik would do better with the pressure or the spotlight on him or not. But they holding hands on keeping KJ in there. And I'm not the coach, and I don't see them every day. I don't know what's going on behind doors, but I like that he improved better in the second half, and I hope he improved more games going forward. All right, my number 2 is that I absolutely love our secondary. Boy, I am so happy to have such a stout secondary. Our secondary won us this game. If you want to be honest with everything, yes, KJ and them ran the ball on offense. They did good. KJ legs really with these scores and getting up there, whatever. But our secondary, Catalan, I mean the safety, I'm trying to think back. I can only think of Ed Reed, and I ain't saying KJ is Ed Reed, but he can be, right? So it's like, I haven't seen a defensive secondary or safety lead a team to victory since Ed Reed at the U. I love this secondary, man. Fouché was all over the place. You seen him in some of the plays of blocks. I mean breakups and man, these cats was all over the field. I love our secondary, bro. The guys can play. Yes, we can probably be a little bit more talented later, but I love our secondary. Love it. All right, dislike number 2. My dislike number 2 is none of y'all will probably see it, but it's what I expected. Is our line, offensive and defensive line through my eyes, I don't care what anyone else says about it, but through my eyes, we need to improve on our offensive defensive line. We just do. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying not to be too harsh on it, but the fact is, we ran against a Rice offensive line and ran against a Rice defensive line. You mean to tell me that anytime we run the ball up there, we can't get no push on an offensive line? What is going on? Now, sometimes you get one or two offensive linemen that's pushing they got on down the field. I don't know whether our guys ain't hitting their hole right or what. Why wasn't there, especially in the first half, like in the second half, you kind of seen who got loose? Who was that? Number 5, Rocky Sanders. Kind of hit some holes. You seen Smith end up with 100 and some yards, but really, I expected more out of our offensive line. It was a play where the 4th and 2 play, right? The 4th and 2 play. We can't push this team 2 yards with a quarterback that weighs 245 pounds or 235 pounds, somewhere in between there. 6'3", 6'4". We can't. Our line is supposed to be heavier than their defensive line. We can't push them to get 2 yards right there. That was a motivation swinging play. We couldn't get it. Could not. Like, I expected if we got there, we scoring, but we could not get it. Where's the push? Where was the gaping holes? And I'm kind of thinking that it might have something to do. I don't know is it a kind of type of plays we calling for the run play. I almost missed the fact that we don't run out of the eye like Rice do. Like, I'm figuring, that's the kind of offense we kind of need for these offensive linemen. I know Ty Clary got hurt, and Ty Clary was my designated, I guess, offensive lineman of the year. I know a lot of people going Ricky because Ricky was first team All-American, All SEC, but I was shooting for Ty Clary. I'll put it like this. They weren't getting pushed around, but there wasn't no push either, though. It was kind of like in the middle. How you tied up with Rice? How you at an equal with Rice? Like, there are no push, no. I don't know. Is it just? It's got to be just my eyes seeing it, and I guess in my expectation of what they should be. In the defensive line, now they did a lot better than the offensive when it came to push or something, because they did get through sometimes, but I expected more. I expected more out of our defensive line. I just expected more, man. I expected him to be on a run more than he was in the first. It don't matter what, pick a quarter, right? I expected him to be more on the run. Now, when we started getting energy later in the second half, you've seen us getting through, but most of that was because they was getting tired, right? We had more talent than they had. We had more depth than they had. They was cramping up on the other side. So sure, we got through, but are we gonna get that next week? Are we gonna be able to get more of a rush in there? I didn't see in the whole game. I'm looking for somebody to pop, right? I'm looking for a defensive lineman to pop just a little bit. I like maybe I saw more of Stewart getting through. Maybe that's our guy. I don't know. They rotated them in and out, kept them fresh, but. Am I being too harsh? I don't know if I'm being too harsh about it, but this is just how I feel. I feel like our defensive line should do better. Like, I expect more out of the defensive line. Maybe they needed to get a game under their belt. as a unit together to see what they like. We do have 3 new ones coming in. Ridgeway is supposed to play this coming week against Texas. It'd be good to have him back to really anchor that middle, because guess what? Rice was running that ball up the middle. And Texas, when they come in, they have a All-American running back. They have an All-American running back coming in. Are we going to be able to plug that up? Because if they run plays like Rice running up the middle, are we going to be able to stop that? Questions, you know? Yeah, we didn't get pushed back. Yeah, we didn't get ran over. But there was some holes that needed to be filled. Maybe I tell you this though. I do like the fact that we did go for we didn't have to, I guess, blitz as much. We did actually drive 4 in. It was mostly a 4-man rush. 4-man rush all game. And maybe that's the credit to them. But I would like to see more out of our 4-man rush. I ain't saying that we Georgia. Did you see Georgia defense, bro? I ain't saying we Georgia. I ain't saying we Alabama type talent right now. But I expected a little bit more from them. I just did. And there's my 2 likes, 2 dislikes. I think we need to we definitely need to clean up the whole penalty thing. That's something they supposedly have been working on at the 2 foul practice, but it is what it is, I guess. Clean that up, clean the penalty up. I don't expect them to get penalized as much come this next game. I don't expect us to give up 123 yards, 113 yards in penalties next game. I expect our offense to run a little bit better with KJ now that he got this game and these jitters out the way. We got the first game jitters out of the way. We got hit with real hitting games with contact with opposing team and not our own players. So now we know how it stings, how it feels. So we get out there, move the ball, play better. I did predict us to win a game next week against Texas. I'm going to stick with it. And right now I just feel like it's going to be closer than I really anticipated that it's going to be. We got to score. We got to score because Texas can score. So we definitely got to score against this time. Score against Texas. And I'm pretty sure Browns ain't going to throw none of them weird plays in there again like they did with Burks. The ball ended up hitting Burks and going on. It's just frustrating plays sometimes that he throws out there. And I expect us to run the ball better this coming week. Better. And with that, we get the W and move on. All right, man. That's just what it will be. Peace.